small creature that had changed the world 180 degrees from east to west. He didn't make any difference between the advanced country and the lowest country, rich people and the poor people. He attacked all of us. Coronavirus or COVID-19. Orange is back. Welcome to Orange Stories. Today we have, it's not a story, it's almost a news and something like a news, and all of us or all of you know what's going on, and I'm being late for this. I know that, sorry. It's around like 3 months from it's become official, but it's a virus that attacking all of us. And even if I'm late, and I think you already know what's you get more information about it, but for the ones who doesn't know about it yet, or I can give you like a small information from it. Anyway, what I'm going to say here, that what's coronavirus or the COVID-19, where it came from, why it happened to us, how to deal with it, all these answers or questions, we know their answers through this episode. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So let's get started. Coronavirus. First of all, we should know where it's living or where they are living. Actually, it's virus that are living in the animals. For example, the pigs, bats, some wild foxes, etc. All of them are viruses that are living in the animals only, and they're like doesn't harming or doesn't have a pain or something on the animals. They are living peacefully and enjoying with the animals, and the animals can deal with it. But how it came or how it make a jump, the animal to the human, that we're gonna talk about it. Before we should know how it make the jump, we should know that if you don't know, we had already been affected with the coronavirus. Actually, corona, it's the family name. It's not the virus itself name or that we are dealing with it these days. No, it's the family called corona. We already had been affected with it from like the 60s. Actually, at 1960, we had discovered the first corona or the first member of the corona family. And from that on, there was like 4 types of corona viruses or types they were living, and we had affected with it. It's like an influenza. We got affected with it, and like you didn't know that it was a corona. Your body already had dealt with it, so it had been like a peaceful thing and like a flu for you, and everything were fine. But why this make that spread all around the world and affecting or like having high percent of deaths? Why all this happening? Let me tell you the story. In the forest, the bats were living there peacefully until the human being had disturbed or interfered in their life, hunt them, and start on selling and eat them. The viruses were already had been, as I told you, in the bats, pigs, foxes. They were living one of the bats as usually, something normal. The animals or the bats are like it's a normal thing to them to deal with that viruses. But the virus for itself, he's like a type, or like he wants also to live and to survive, and he's seeing that the human being is killing his host. So what he gonna do? So he must figure something to survive, and that thing was to jump from the human being, from the bat to the human beings. Human being doesn't left anything on its way on itself. He should interfere on each and everything of the nature. So November 2002, we had discovered the first patient of corona family or type of corona family. It was West China. For a patient get affected with one member of the coronavirus, and later it had been called SARS. It was a pandemic also, as today or as now, but there was like 8,000 people affected with the coronavirus or that SARS for 8 months. Do you know, do you read me? 8,000 in 8 months, and have just 10% of death, and more than 50% of them was like plus 60 people old. So it was panic. It was something not that much, but we have controlled it, and after the 8 months there is any patient was discovered. I missed something. The doctor who was healing or treating the first patient, or the first patients when they discovered the SARS, he got affected with it, and when he was traveling from that city to get back to his city in China, he was in the airport. He was like connecting with the people. As you know, it's an airport, there is like thousands of people, and he affected there like most of the airport peoples, and they traveled each one to his country, or each one with a flight to the different country. It'd been like 127 countries all around the world, and we got the 8,000 on the 8 months. But as I told you, we got controlled it now, and there is no new patients was discovered. Then we said, whew, we controlled it. We had finished or destroyed that member of the family, and we lived happily ever. But wait a minute, we had been like this for like, but before I'm saying the number, we got flu, we get sick with the normal types and got some antibiotics, useful or by ourselves without any doctor consult, but was dealing with this illness that we was having, or that flu type. Then 10 years went, and we had discovered a new member of coronavirus. It called MERS, Middle East Respiratory System. Saudi farmer was affected at his respiratory system and was moved to the hospital, and there we had figured out that we are dealing with a new member from the coronavirus. Sorry, I have forgot to mention that, but I should mention how it came. Why the reasons? It had came from the animals, as I told you previously, and it was living this time in the camels. And in the Saudi Arabia has many of camels, and it's normal to the camels to live in Saudi Arabia. And as the human being has been using the camel meat and its milk, so here it make a jump. It was something rare, but it make a jump from the camel to the human being. And all the people that will get affected, they were from the staff only, from the doctors and the nurse. It's not something that from the air or from a human being walking in the street like the corona, and the disease will jump from the human to the human. No, it was only affected from the doctors and the nurses that were dealing to the patient like very close to him. So I just want to mention that. It doesn't make a big problem because like almost 3,000 people was affected, and 80% of it was inside the KSA, and the remaining 20 was in the world. Yes, it has like a high percent of death, 35%, but like we control it too. It doesn't make, like I told you, it doesn't make a panic to the people. It doesn't make us like stay at home or that stuff. It was something normal that we can deal with it. And yes, almost a year, and we had destroyed it. No any new patient was figured or discovered. So what happens now? We're dealing with the third member of coronavirus, and this one was the dangerous. As you saw the results, the world has raising the emergency case, and they are taking care, extra care. We're seeing the deaths everywhere, every day, all around the world. So what we're gonna do, and what's happening? Actually, as I told you, it was living in the beds, the coronavirus of the family member. And what was discovered, or like this seems from the World History Organization, they're saying that maybe, or like almost sure, that the bat, the member of corona, moved to the Penelian. I think I said his name correct. You can see it in the picture. The circle one, the circle animal that eating the ants. And as usual, China, or the people, I don't know what to say, they didn't leave them to live in peace. They should interfere, hunt it, sell it, and eat it. And as I told you, the corona or the virus need to survive. So he figured something to jump from the animal or his host to the human being. And at the crowd in the market, and there is hundreds of thousands of people in a small area, and they can get easily affected. So it started from here, from a person to person to person to person, and without knowing what's going on. Especially at the first days, you don't know that you get affected. Until lately you will know that you get affected. But before that, all the people that you interact with them, they will get affected. So it's spread all around the world, and all the countries that make fun of it was got a huge damage. Italy, for example, they are like 100,000 and plus, and almost 30,000 of them, as we can say 30% of the people are died or passed away. So we should take care. And for an information, we had been like almost 3 to 4 months officially from corona, but the actual number, it's 6 months, as it started from November 2019. So it took 2 months for China to try to figure something to deal with it, or to reduce the damage, but when they give up, they had announced it on January 2020. West China first patient was discovered with COVID-19. From east to the west of the world, the people get affected. All you should do, you should take care, stay at home, wash your hands with the soap for like not less than 40 seconds. Don't interact with people. And I know there is like most of the countries has a curfew on them, and actually my country too, so we're sitting at home. And also when the curfew is finished, you doesn't need to go out. Just stay at home unless it's something necessary, you have to do it. And don't touch any surface, don't touch your face, and have a sanitizer with you. And there is an important information I want to say it. Don't wear mask and gloves, because it's a problem, and I'm seeing it in front of my eyes of the people that walking in the streets. If you don't know how to use it, it will be harmful to you, then it will be benefits. Like literally there will be no benefits, it just will harm you more than the corona itself, and you will be like having high percent to get affected. So you should take care, not for you but for your family too, for the society that we are living together. At least some information. There is two sides of the mask. One is actually I don't know which side, I think you can Google it, it's something easy. Anyway, there is two sides. One side, if you affected and don't want that virus or that sick get for the people or get spread, so it will protect the germs from your mouth to get out, and will inhale the oxygen normally. But the other side, it will protect you from the outside, from the air that you are inhaling will be protected. You will not get the germs. And also it need to be always changed. Like I think for 1 hour you should wear it, then you should remove it. And when you remove it or when you wear it, you should hold it from the plastic that on the sides of the ear. Don't hold the mask or the face type, because the germs, it will be easy to go to the respiratory system. So hold it from the plastic and take care. And there is also small information I want to say it. First month of I'll have the statistics in front of you. The SARS get 8,000 people affected in it whole. When it get spread all around the world, there was like 8,000 affected people. The MERS, 3,000 people, and the coronavirus, 7,000 people were affected in just first month. In just first month there was 7 people affected. Influenza is a high spread germs or a disease that easily spread from a person to a person, but has less percentage of death, so we don't worry if we get affected. In the other side, the SARS and the MERS has a high percentage of death, but a less percentage or a less amount of people get affected with it, or hard to get affected with it. So we can worry for some times and then we will be safe or be calm. But here, the COVID, it's a combined between both of them. It's highly spreading and having a high percentage of deaths. I don't know how much, but for the moment it's like 2 to 3%. Don't make fun with the number because it's like around 6. No, I think until we are recording this episode, there are like a million of people around the world get affected. So please take care, watch your hand carefully, don't interact with people, stay at home, and hope I was give you some useful information for you. And sorry for the long video, and I know there was like some sentences not in their place and all that stuff. Sorry for that, I can't arrange what I was saying. I just start the video and you know what. So please stay safe, stay at home, wash your hand carefully until we will control this and we'll get our life back. And please, China, stop eating that shit, please. Okay, stop, eat normal food. There are like hundreds and thousands of recipes, you can enjoy it. Leave that shit you are eating and start on eating healthy food. Or yes, you can take some help from your neighbor, Japan. They are eating some sushis. You can try it, eat it. Anyway, Yes, it's new article video. See you in the next time, and goodbye.